Hey everyone, Rosemarie Havsom back again to help you take full control of your life by what you choose to put at the end of your fork. So let's get into it. We hear so much about eating real food, and it is very confusing when you look at all of the so-called studies and research and medical input into what real food is and the side effects and the outcomes that are showing up. We're seeing an increased rate of type 2 diabetes in the United States. We're seeing an increase in the rate of people diagnosed with high blood pressure, where we see African Americans are twice as likely to be diagnosed with high blood pressure than their white counterparts, and usually at a later state in the progress of this condition, and usually with worse outcomes when it comes to their lifespan. We're also seeing an increase in overweight and obesity. We still have the statistics of 3 out of 4 African American women are considered overweight and obese. Morbid obesity is increasing in the United States, and a lot of it has to do with food. Let's take a look at this and see the standard American diet that people are eating and what kind of effects it can have on their health and their lifestyle. Let's take a look.
Here's what I ate in a day on the petroleum diet, starting off the morning with some Lucky Charms for the classics, the red 40, the yellow 5, the yellow 6, the blue 1, getting a nice petrochemical dose first thing in the morning. Then I'm off to Starbucks to get my morning brew, a boiling cup of coffee in plastic cap to release some of that polyethylene, billions of microplastics and nanoplastics. Then I'm off to McDonald's for lunch, a lot of Cedos in the bun, in the fries, hoping to get some of that good hexane residue from the extraction process. I gotta get my daily aspartame dose, it's synthesized with methanol, I can't skip that. And in the french fries I'm getting dimethyl polysoloxane. For a midday snack we're stopping at the 7-Eleven, we're grabbing the Monster Energy drink for the benzoic acid made from toluene, and I'm grabbing a Reese's cup for the TBHQ preservative made from butane. These are key for my petrochemical diversity. For dinner, a frozen pizza, I'm going for that glyphosate. It's not directly a petroleum derivative, but hey, I'm getting the most famous herbicide in the world. And of course gotta eat it with a Chick-fil-A sauce for the EDTA, a preservative made from ethylene diamine, formaldehyde, sodium cyanide, all derived from petroleum. And for dessert before sleep, I can't forget about my polysorbate 80, just to help take the edge off while I watch some of my favorite videos. If you're eating this way, you are too maximizing your petrochemical intake. Send this to a friend who needs to see this.
Now, I like the way that that content creator produced this information. It was done lightheartedly, but with a very serious undertone. I loved his satire when he showed how much we're consuming artificial ingredients, chemicals, things that aren't even supposed to be in our food, petroleum derivatives. Seed oils, they are highly inflammatory oils that when cooked and used, they increase omega-6. And an imbalance of omega-6 leads to inflammation, leads to high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and overweight and obesity. Now, the medical establishment wants you to believe that that's not the case, but it is. And the statistics are showing that we're seeing more and more people coming in with metabolic issues, gut issues, and preventable chronic issues that are directly related to the foods that they're eating in the standard American diet. Artificial flavors and colors and ingredients in a typical cold cereal, like what was shown in the clip. This content creator showed a perfect example of standard American diet and what it's containing and the dangers of that. It doesn't matter what people are talking about with whole grain and multigrain when it comes to cereals. The problem is the actual components that are making up the cereal. Chemical dye, red number 40, yellow number 5. These are known to be disruptors to how the brain functions, causing things like nausea, hyperactivity in children. All of these things are contributing to our unhealthy eating that is going on in North America, especially in the United States. We're also seeing the fact that just about everything that you eat that is fast food, that is cold cereals, that is anything that's on a shelf, in a package, in a jar, all of these things, when you look at the ingredients list, they're all ultra processed. But some of the most harmful ingredients that are on there is no longer a mom and pop business. And it's also no longer a place where you can buy from your local butcher who's still raising his own livestock or is being supplied by livestock by a local farmer. Things have changed so drastically that we don't even know what we're eating anymore. We need to look at that a lot closer than what we are. What we're seeing are the side effects of that. We're seeing gut issues, people coming down with all kinds of different cancers, especially colon cancer. We're seeing a lot of hyperactivity, depression, anxiety, and these are coming from as a direct result of additives, chemicals that they're putting into our foods. Glyphosate was another insecticide that was used, especially in Roundup, used to kill weeds and used to kill any kind of infestation on wheat and other crops. And that has been linked to cancer, non-Hodgkin's cancer to be specific. Now, I do want to make a pause here and take a look at another clip because we're looking at how the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry, and the insurance industry are all connected, and not in a good way for the average American, and especially for the average African American. Look at this clip and we'll be right back.
The largest merger ever done in Germany was Bayer-Monsanto, where Bayer, which is a pharmaceutical company, merged with Monsanto, which is an agrochemical company in the United States. If you look at what Bayer makes, they make cancer drugs for things like non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And if you look at what Monsanto makes, which is Roundup, which is the most widely used pesticide in America, the cancer that it causes is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They paid out $11 billion in the past couple of years for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cases. So the companies are merging that are directly known to cause the disease with a medical company that has a treatment for the disease. Like, this is very, very dark.
So we have a merger of Bayer, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, with Monsanto, another extremely large pharmaceutical company and also seed owner in the world. The pharmaceutical company is owning the food, and then the food is causing to diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, overweight and obesity, and in some cases, cancers. And we're seeing that correlation that the people who are putting out the food are then linked to the people who are supposedly there to help cure the problem or treat the problem, because they don't believe in cures, that are caused by these foods. So you really have to take a look and be very mindful of what you're putting into your body as food and give yourself a fighting chance to be able to avoid preventable chronic illnesses. One of the preventable chronic illnesses that is running rampant right now is type 2 diabetes. We can do so much better, but we need to really take hold of what we're choosing to eat. One of the things I recommend is GlucoBlock. It's an amazing supplement. It helps to block the glucose that's flowing through the blood when there's an overindulgence in glucose producing foods. And one of the things that we're finding with type 2 diabetes is that the precursor to type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is brought about because the pancreas can no longer metabolize the amount of glucose that's being flooded into the body, and therefore that extra glucose is being stored in the liver, causing a fatty liver, metabolic syndrome, and type 2 diabetes eventually. GlucoBlock, it blocks the amount of glucose in your blood, and it's a really powerful supplement to help you avoid type 2 diabetes. If you want to know more about this product, then check out my YouTube channel. That's Havsom, H-A-V for Victor, S-O-M for Mother. And if you have any questions about how you can eat better and avoid the standard American diet and the downfalls of that, then please comment that down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. And remember my YouTube channel, Havsom, which is H-A-V for Victor, S-O-M for Mother. And we'll continue the conversation there. And you can find out how to get your GlucoBlock over there as well. Take care and be safe.